On today's episode of Bite Sized, we are watching and discussing the 19th scene of the movie Twilight. For those of you watching along at home, that is from 2454 to 2531. And now, on to the episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Bite Sized. I am always, as your host, Ben Abear. I am watching the Twilight movies, for specifically the first Twilight movie, one scene at a time, and discussing it on this here podcast with a different guest every week. Joining me in this endeavor today, we've got a comedy cabaret performer, that's a mouthful, producer, a woman of many talents, Kim Grossman. Welcome to Bite Sized.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
Good. How are you? How's it going?
I'm well.
How's your weekend been as we get into the Halloween season?
It was good. I went to an apple orchard this weekend.
I was just about to ask if you did any fun fall activities.
I did do the fun fall activity of Chicago, which is to go to an orchard about an hour and a half away.
Not a pumpkin patch.
There was a pumpkin patch here too. It was it's like a fall festival. They had a pumpkin patch, an orchard, a corn maze. We didn't do the corn maze.
The one time I did a corn maze here in Chicago, or in the Chicago area, it was very too late in the season and all the corn was dead. So it was just a dirt path and basically an empty field. Yeah. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen.
I guess that's what I said. I was like, you could do a corn maze in November because it doesn't really matter if the corn's alive. Now, if you go too late for the pumpkins and apples, then you're a fool.
Yeah. No, it was a mistake. I'm going to start this the way I start all discussions here on this show. That is by asking you, Kim Grossman, what is your history with the Twilight franchise?
I have a very short history. I wasn't much of a Twilight person. I don't know much about the movies. I actually just recently decided that I would watch the movies. Okay. I haven't read the book.
But surely they were everywhere.
They were everywhere.
Or so years ago. How did you miss out on them? Was that a choice?
I didn't miss out. Yeah, I think it was more of a choice.
Yeah.
It was around this. I think I was more of like a Harry Potter person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never got into it. I think that I've always been kind of a baby too. So the idea of spooky vampires.
They're not that spooky though. As vampires go, these ones are pretty tame.
They're pretty tame.
Yeah.
I do have to say. But yeah, and I always just heard that it was bad, honestly.
You were never...
honestly, people were like, Twilight kind of sucks.
You were never on a team?
A team. Oh, a team Jacob.
Team Edward, team Jacob, team whatever.
In watching it recently, I'm definitely team Jacob because Edward's too much. It's too much.
They're both...
I'm going to start fights, aren't I? I'm going to start some fights.
Maybe, not with me.
Not with you, but amongst the people who've been on the podcast. I'm all about the drama. So.
I really should start keeping track of who is on what team, because we've had some Team Jacob, some Team Edward, some Team Undecideds. We've had at least one Team Charlie, who's her dad.
Honestly, I'm team the girl, the sister who's one of the vampires.
Oh, Alice?
Yes.
With the pixie cut?
Yes, I think so.
That's a very popular team on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, Alice. Especially for bi people like me.
Yeah. I think I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. I think I'm team Bella needs to go to college and figure some things out first.
Yeah. I think that Bella just needed to come out is the problem. That's my hot take. That's my hot take.
Where are you getting that?
Well, because Kristen Stewart is a lesbian.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm just it makes sense, and because people always were so hard on her. Mm-hmm. They were like, "Oh, she sucks. She was not good in those movies and whatever."
Yeah.
And I'm like, first off, it's Twilight, and I think
it is Twilight. That's true.
It's Twilight, and I think that she did the best. She could kind of as a younger actor with what she was given, but then also it makes a lot of sense that she didn't have super strong chemistry with these two male leads.
No, not really. It wasn't there. So you're a young person. You're not a Twilight fan.
No.
How did you encounter them as an adult? Who made you watch them?
Who made me watch them?
It could be you.
It was me. I think I mean, I think I put one on for fun, and I was like, oh, this is fun.
Around what age would this be?
This was like this past year. Like
Okay.
it's like,
Very
and I
recent.
am 32.
Okay.
So in my 30s,
Okay.
I decided to start.
It's
watching.
never too
I'm
late.
sure it's been on in the background before. I've seen scenes. I haven't lived under a rock. Like I know certain things, and I like the internets and everything. So
Yeah.
But yeah, this year I watched one of them, and then I watched the second one. Actually, after Emily and Jess's podcast, the live recording, the first one.
Yeah. For listeners of the show, Emily from episode 3,
Yeah,
of course,
I know
and Jess
her.
is from hasn't been on the show yet, because I have a rule that if you have a podcast and I have one host of that podcast on my show, the other host doesn't get to come on until I've been on your show. And so that applies to at least 2 podcasts now that I've had one host on.
All right,
And
you
the
heard
other
that,
one,
Emily and
you've
Jess.
heard that, specifically Jess and Mike from How Star Wars Is It. You don't get to come on my show until I've been on yours.
And that's a promise.
I'm holding half
You're
of
holding-
that show hostage, basically.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, yeah,
It's-
at their live recording, they talked to Jess's fanfic was about Twilight, and
Yeah, I was there.
yeah, and I
in
was
the
just
audience.
like, and that really like, I was like, wow, that was art.
Yeah.
Like that, what she described, I was like,
Yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah,
was.
That's art.
Do you want to? Should we start some more drama? Because I was in the audience of that live show.
Oh my God.
And this was a matter
Let's
of
start drama. Oh my
this
God,
was
I'm so excited.
mere weeks after I had recorded the first 3 episodes, and on the stage at that live show were Will, Sarah, and Emily. The first 3 guests of that episode.
Okay.
And the 3 of them, the 4, I guess, were talking about Twilight. And I was making intense eye contact with the 3 people who'd been on my Twilight show, being like, mention the show. And none of them did.
Oh my God.
And all of them apologized to me after the
My
show, like good
God.
friends and people.
I don't even know,
But, like,
I don't even know if we should be friends with these
I
people
don't think
anymore.
I should maybe anymore.
Oh my God.
Except for Sarah, because she's cool.
Fine. Oh yeah, you know what? And Will and Emily can go fuck
They
themselves.
they can go take a hike.
I can take a hike.
Yeah.
You know what? Jess is cool too, but you
Yes.
need to be on the podcast.
Hasn't
You
been on
got to
the
make
pod.
it.
She honestly, she's the only one that comes out of this
That's
clean.
what- you come out of this
Yeah.
clean. You come out.
I was
Jessica Mull.
waiting for one of them to say, speaking of Twilight, I was just on a podcast about it. None of them did.
Great.
But-
So is this just what we're gonna do the whole time? We're gonna talk about like just
I
kinda
mean, we
shit talk
kinda
our
can.
friend. Like, should we
Do
just
you-
like shit talk our friends?
Do you want to
instead
turn
of-
this into like a Chicago improv gossip podcast?
Oh my God! I just thought of my podcast
Yeah.
that no one can be on but me.
And it's just you.
It's just me.
It's more of a diary.
It's more of a diary. You're gonna
Or-
listen to all my thoughts. That's just me hosting bingo, honestly. So.
A diary or therapy without a therapist, basically. Let's get into the episode. The scene we watched today, not a lot happens, and it all doesn't happen very dramatically.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay.
You're incorrect.
All right, well, let's just go. I'll give you
I have
the
hot
overview.
takes. I have hot
okay,
takes.
I'm ready for them. You have hot takes about a lot of things.
Yeah,
This
me?
is-
No, I have no opinions.
because here's what's happening in this scene. Bella is in bed. She wakes up. Edward's there, or isn't he? And then the scene is over.
Okay, that's not true.
Yeah.
Bella wakes up, but she's like, whoa, did I just see that? Which I don't understand why she doesn't like kind of scream or like, she's just like very cool with the fact that she saw someone in the corner of her room.
She says something about it. It's like that being the first time she dreamed about Edward.
That's the end.
That was the first night I dreamt of Edward Cullen.
That's like right
Yes.
before the end of the scene. So at first she looks and like we can watch it again because I might not be getting this right. Don't, Twilight heads or whatever you call yourselves. Twihards don't come for me.
Yeah.
Don't come for me. I'm a newbie. I'm a little virgin. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's be gentle. She wakes up, she sees him. She's like, that's weird. And then she like turns on her light. She looks back and he's not there.
yeah.
He's not there. And that's crazy. But then she has what I would say is like a good 5 to 10 seconds of like so many emotions
Yeah.
being acted through her hair.
And her arms.
Her arms.
A lot of
and
arm
a lot
work.
of like ooh, my shoulders forward so I look a little hollow, like, and I'm like, yeah, this is how I wake up. I just like have my hair perfect, and I'm just, I'm like, ooh, I'm a little pouty. I'm a little pouty. I mean, I am pouty when I wake up, but not in like the way that she is. She's like she's much more attractive when she does that.
Right.
So so I'm just like, wow. And you can see like, oh, that was weird. And then she's like, but was it? Like that might have been normal.
One of my least favorite things, and one of the least interesting things someone can do in a conversation, is describe a funny video they saw once. But I'm going to do that right now, because if you've seen my favorite SNL sketch, Liza Minnelli tries to turn off a lamp.
She does do a little flossy neck.
She does.
She does a little flossy neck.
And now, Liza Minnelli tries to turn off a lamp.
Truck him out over here! Oh, I see him. He's the scoundrel. He's the troublemaker right here. Time to turn this doodad off.
Kristen Wiig plays Liza Minnelli trying to turn off a lamp. It's fantastic. But there's so many moments where she's laying on a couch and doing a lot of the same arm and dramatically turnover business that Kristen Stewart is doing in this scene. And it makes me wonder how much better would Twilight be if it starred Liza Minnelli. And
no, I'm sorry, Kristen Wiig playing Liza Minnelli.
Or both. And I also do want to point out
the two,
today my mic is resting on a literal stack of Liza Minnelli records.
I was like, is that because I'm here? Because you?
No, it's because
I'm Liza Minnelli.
Mindy and I went to an estate sale yesterday and found some pretty good Liza Minnelli records. And if you think about it, Cabaret
is Twilight.
It's just Twilight. It's about a woman.
It is about Twilight.
It's about a young woman in sort of a weird situation, torn between two guys, I think. I mean,
if you're going to go down that road, that's like every movie that's ever been made.
It's just Twilight
just those two.
and just
You're
Cabaret.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
And then Bella has that big number.
She has a big number.
You could see, but you could really see Bella Song if Bella Song would be her name in the musical version of Twilight. Hold on, I gotta write something.
You guys, hold on. Shut off the podcast again.
I'm trademarking that right now. You could see Bella singing something like "Maybe This Time." More about Twilight. Do you think she was actually having a dream, or was Edward actually there?
I was just going along with the dream thing, but now I'm thinking of a time I'm thinking of a time recently when I watched this for the first time.
I was really worried you were going to say I was thinking of a time when I woke up and someone
when I woke up and Carl was in the side of my room and I was like, get out, please. Thank you. I feel like it's a dream, but I feel like it's like telepathy. It's like telepathy, right? That's the thing, right?
Sure.
Like I feel like it's like him, like he is aware of it. And in the world of this, and this is just based on watching this scene isolated.
Good.
I think that it's some kind of a connection brain wise.
Interesting. A connection.
It's a connection brain wise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I watched this movie called what was it? It was like Vampire University. Have you seen that?
No.
It's like
Vampire Academy.
I'm so sorry. Vampire Academy.
Okay.
Yes.
Vampire University is a different movie.
Here at St. Vladimir's, we all know the dangers that lurk outside our gates.
I want to do my sworn duty. I want to protect my best friend from danger.
So the one girl was a vampire, and then she had like her protector, but they were connected. Like the protector could see what was happening at certain times. Like they were connected, and that's how she ultimately saved her in the end, because she was like, oh no, she's being attacked and killed. Yeah. So or in Harry Potter when the the connection between Voldemort and Harry Potter. Like you can see things that's happening for the other person.
Can they do that?
So I feel like maybe they can do that.
Okay.
And like, but it's maybe just like a little more visceral because she's like, ooh, I'm really cool and moody and kind of like, maybe she's like a little bit of a witch.
Maybe. Okay.
I have hot takes.
Do you want me to tell you how right or wrong you are?
I'm guessing I'm very wrong.
Well, you're sort of there, you're sort of not, because Edward does have the ability to read minds, but he cannot
and
read.
I think I knew that.
He can't read Bella's mind. Because her power is that powers don't work on her.
But I want to say, I'm not saying he can read her mind.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he can show up in her space. So maybe she can like imagine him and he's like just kind of like a ghost and he's like, why am I here? You know?
Okay. Interesting.
That kind of thing.
I don't think that's anywhere in the books or movies, but I like that idea. I will say it is established that vampires can move really fast in the movies, so maybe it is really him. And it is also stated, he also does tell her later on, I don't remember how far later on, but he admits to watching her sleep sometimes.
Yeah. Which is not okay.
No.
Men. That's
men.
Not okay.
Yeah.
You can't just sneak into people's houses or to young women's houses or any woman's house.
Really.
Or any person.
Of
you know
age.
what?
You know
any
what?
person. We're going to open up all genders, all types.
Yeah.
Just don't sneak into someone's house and watch them sleep.
Don't climb into their second story window.
Don't do it. It's not romantic. It's not romantic.
It's weird. And
unless
it's also
they
illegal.
ask you, which would be odd. But
look, if it's
unless they ask you, you don't.
That's a different situation, though.
Don't.
I don't think that's what's happening here. Because I don't know about
I don't
you.
think it is. She
calls it a dream. I don't think I've ever had a dream that started after I woke up, which is what seems to be going on here.
She just made it a whole dinner, a whole lunch of emotions that were acted out through her hair and arms.
What's the worst dream you've ever had?
Sometimes I'm like in a building that collapses, which is really weird. Yeah, it's like very weird, but like it's happened a few times now, and that's the only one that I like really had. But I did have one where it was like I woke up and there was like a shadow in the side of my room, and I was like, oh my God, it's a spider or something. I don't know.
It may have been a handsome vampire.
Yeah, I do have a lot of dreams about Carl cheating on me. So
really?
I've told him about it. He's just like, that wasn't me. You can't hold that over my head.
That is true.
I'm just like, whatever, Carl. Stop sleeping with my friends. Thank you. But
has he ever cheated with me in one of your dreams?
With you, no. But you're next.
Maybe.
I'm sure this podcast, you're like, I'm trying to get into your subconscious so I can have sex with Carl in your dream.
Not just so I can mess you with you while you're asleep. Or while, that
love
works.
it. I'm trying to think of like really bad dreams. I also have like a fear of projectile vomiting.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay,
but like anyone who knows
or just
me,
in general.
No, like if it's used as like a plot device in a movie, like for example, like Pitch Perfect.
I was gonna say Bridesmaids.
And Bridesmaids, I was able to enjoy because that one, like you
Speaking
can
of
see
Kristen
it.
Wiig.
Yeah, that one you can see it coming, and I can cover my ears and eyes and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like the weirdest thing. It goes back to elementary school, and you know,
we don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
And an incident.
Yeah.
So I think it's connected to that. But I do have dreams where like that kind of happens. Or have you watched Righteous Gemstones?
I have.
There's the one episode where at the beginning they have that, which like I still like that show.
It's a good show.
I mean, like there are some shows that I have forgiven because like, and it's funny because I told my one friend this, and he was like, Kim, I didn't realize how much vomit is in like movies and TV shows. And I'm just like, yeah, believe me, this is my whole freaking life.
Comedies especially.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and some people do think it's funny. And I don't get it. I don't get those people.
No, I've never, it's not funny.
It's not, it's just
I think we should stop doing it.
I feel like we should just like stop doing it.
Right.
I'm like, poop is funnier than that, you know?
I guess, but
like,
still not
I
that
still don't want to
funny.
see it. Like,
yeah.
I think that's the seeing it is the problem for me. I'm just like, I don't feel like I need to see any of it.
No.
Anyways, so yes, those have been in my bad dreams too.
Glad I asked. Have you ever had a dream that started with you waking up in the bed that you normally sleep in? Because that to me tips off maybe this scene is not a dream and there's actually a man in there.
No, but that
committing a
is an
crime.
anxiety that I have, that I'm gonna have, that they have those dreams where you like wake up in a dream and then and I'm like, that's terrifying to me.
That has happened to me once.
I know, I can't. Oof.
One recurring dream I kind of used to have but don't anymore is like teeth falling out. Which doesn't that mean you're gonna like die or something? I don't know, because
that's like, maybe that's good luck.
I will say I stopped having that recurring dream a long time ago.
Okay.
So
I'm glad you didn't die.
I didn't die, and maybe I had good luck. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I also, weirdly enough, used to have a recurring dream. I used to be a lifeguard, and I used to have this recurring stress dream that like I had to get people out of the pool because there was a storm coming, and I would blow on my whistle as hard as I could and it would not make any noise. And then I moved to Chicago to do comedy and stopped having that dream. I'm like not a big believer in like dream stuff, but that's like, okay, hold on.
Like,
my subconscious was going through something there.
Also, I just looked it up. Dreams of teeth falling out may symbolize anxiety, insecurity, or loss.
Okay.
So did you...
I mean, 2 out of 3. I just have all the time.
You have all the time. Did you have any loss as a young wee boy?
No, because this dream only really happened in a certain period of like a maybe a 4 or 5 year period.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm house sitting for a lady from church. It's the first night there. I've never been in this house before. I've never been in this bedroom before.
Okay.
I have a dream about all my teeth falling out. As it happens. And then I wake up and I'm like, haha, cool. That was just a dream. And then as I'm laying there, a tooth falls out. And then I wake up
God,
again.
That's so spooky.
In this bedroom that I've never been in before.
No.
And never been in the daylight. No. Apparently my dream was good enough at telling me what this bedroom looked like.
Wow.
That it just made that happen. And that was like the most scared I've ever been.
Are you Bella Swan?
Maybe.
Are you?
I don't know, Swan? But I had to like check each individual tooth to make sure I wasn't.
That's so spooky. That's
in
like,
a dream.
Yeah, I would hate that.
It was not fun.
There's multiple shows that have done that. I think like Boy Meets World did that once, where they had like the waking up in a dream, in a dream, in a dream. I was like, oh my God, if that ever happened, that's horrible. Unless it's Inception, I don't want it.
So who knows? Maybe it'll happen to you tonight when you go home.
How dare you?
I don't know.
That was the whole idea of having me here, wasn't it?
Yeah, to just
to ruin my life
a little bit.
LOL.
Cool. Let's start to wrap this up. If you had to give this scene a name, what would it be? And this is also going to be the name of the episode, so make it good.
Arms, hair, and acting, or Fosse neck. I don't know.
Arms.
What would you call it?
No, you have to do it first, and then I'll tell you what I would have done. That's not how this works.
Wait, but that doesn't have to do with Twilight, though.
We've talked a lot about Liza Minnelli today.
Liza Minnelli.
So
Liza. Liza Minnelli Swan.
Liza. Hold on, I need to consult this album. How to spell Minnelli? 2 N's, 2 L's. Minnelli Swan.
Has a dream. There we go.
Has a dream.
There we go.
There we go.
Good.
Final
answer. You know
answer?
what? Yes, that's my final answer. Liza Minnelli Swan has a dream.
Thank you for that. I think that's good. Just based on all the Liza Minnelli talk, I would have called it Bella with a B.
Bella with a B. That's a good
that's
one.
Pretty good.
And that's why you're the host.
That's why I get paid the big money and why I make my guests come up with
I was
the name
just
of the
like,
episode.
I thought of like names beforehand, but you can never know what you're going to talk about until you're here.
You really
can't.
Improv,
baby.
Speaking of improv, baby, if guests want to see you do improv,
they can't because
you don't do that anymore. But if guests want to see you do something
then they
else,
can listen to this podcast and see random stuff. So I produce and host a show called Boobs and Bingo at the Newport Theater. It's in Wrigleyville, right across from the Al's Beef.
Good news is not baseball season anymore, so Wrigleyville is you can go there.
Yeah, you
and
can
it's
go
not
there.
terrible.
And it's a variety burlesque show, so it's primarily burlesque and bingo. But we also we've had comedians, we've had singers, we've had all types of people. We do have prizes.
Yeah.
We have $25 gift cards to Shakers on Clark.
A good bar
at Belmont and Clark.
Finest.
You should definitely go there. And then sometimes we get like artists to give little, things for the prizes, and it's a good time all around.
It sounds like it. Is that on social media, maybe?
It is. If you follow, so I would follow at Bingo Betch, BETCH, because that's mine and my partner in crime, the Card Queen's Instagram.
Yeah.
And then also, oh God, there's TikTok as well. We're right now we're vamping up our social medias. We're
like vampires.
Vampiring
Gotta bring it
up
back
our.
around.
We're vampiring up our social media. We also do bingo weekly at the Butcher's Tap in also Southport Corridor, more so for that one. And that's at 8 p.m. and that's free. And there's prizes there too.
All right. If you want to follow the show on social media, you can do that at bitesizedpod_ on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me personally at benabear.com on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't really use Twitter anymore. Go there to find out about this show and other
X
shows. Sorry. Get out of here. You're off the podcast. This show, Riff, I do a lot of other stuff. Look it up on my social media. Thank you so much to my editor, Ben Oxher, for putting this all together. Thank you to the band's Swimwear department for letting me use their song Mauled to Death as the theme for this show. If you want to talk about something we said on the show, if you're mad at Kim for whatever reason,
then you
can reach out to the show. Send an email to myfavoritetwilightpodcast@gmail.com. Who knows? If it's good, I may even read it on the air. And that is it. That is all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. As we always say at the end of every episode,
what? What do we say again? What do we say?
I don't know. You tell me. Leave all of this in, Ben.
Leave all of this in, Ben.
That's it. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. See you next week.